Hi, good morning students. Today we will discuss about our chapter how, when and where. So, my dear students, today we are going to start our first chapter of history. And beta, in history, as you all know that the concept of what, when and where is really very much important to remember, because our subject history just roll around these four concepts only, like what, when and where. एंड इफ़ आई टॉक इन हिंदी, सो जैसे कि इफ़ आई रिमेंबर कि भाई हाउ मीन्स कैसे, वहन मीन्स कब एंड वेयर मीन्स कहाँ. सो how will, in the concept of how, we will discuss that कि how the things took place, how the administration system, how the life of people in the ancient centuries, and how the civilization was, and what kind of people they have, or what kind of administration system they have. Okay, and beta, in the concept of when, we will read about like how the things got changed at what particular of time. Okay, if suppose if I ask you a simple question in the concept of when, if I say when is your birthday, okay, so what you will say, my birthday is on 10 July, my birthday is on 11 July. So such kind of a particular date you will give in your answer. Exactly beta, the same happen in the subject of history also, when we have to remember a date. Like if I ask you a question, when India got independence, our answer will be India got independence on 15th of August 1947. And if I say when the Chori Chora incident took place, when did civil non-corporation movement was started, when civil disobedience movement was started, okay, when the revolt of 1857 was started. So answer will be in 18 in May, on 13th of May 1857. If I ask when did Mahatma Gandhi returned from South Africa, so you will say he returned on 15th of March 1919. Okay, so and when did the Britishers came to India, when did Portuguese came to India, when did Alexander the Great invaded India, when did Alauddin Khilji, Muhammad Tughlaq, Qutbuddin Aibak, Iltutmish, Rajia Sultans, when did all these rulers started ruling the Delhi Sultanate. Okay, and all the concepts of when is directly related to a particular time and date. ओके बेटा, सो हम ये कह सकते हैं इन द कंसेप्ट ऑफ व्हेन द पर्टिकुलर टाइम पीरियड और अ पर्टिकुलर डेट that is directly related to our history, to our ancient period, is will come in the concept of when. Okay beta, so when is clear to you, I hope, and in this chapter we will discuss about it more. Okay, now if now let's come to the concept of where beta. Where is a important term to remember. Like if I ask you a simple question, from where you belong, what you will say, we belong to Delhi. Okay, good. And if I say where you live, what you will say, I live in Delhi. Okay, and if I say where do you study, you will say we study in Rishikul Vidyapit Alipur. Okay, so such kind of questions that gives an answer of a particular place. ठीक है, एक ऐसा क्वेश्चन जो एक पर्टिकुलर प्लेस के बारे में कोई जवाब देता है बेटा, कोई आंसर देता है, वो किस में आएगा, वो आएगा इन द कंसेप्ट ऑफ वेयर. ओके, सो नाउ लेट्स discuss it furthermore in the concept of history. Suppose if I ask you a question, for example, if I ask you a question, from where Mahatma Gandhi returned to India, your answer will be Mahatma Gandhi returned from South Africa. Okay, now if I ask you where is Chori Chora situated, okay, it is situated in Bihar. Okay, now what you will say, where if I ask you where is the battle of Plassey, where is the battle of Buxor, where is the battle of Waterloo, and where all the great battles fought between the great emperors, great rulers, where is the first battle of Panipat, where is the second battle of Panipat, where is the third battle of Panipat fought. So the question, the answer lies in the question only कि भाई कहाँ पे पानीपत की और दूसरी तीसरी लड़ाई हुई थी. वी ऑल नो डैट कहाँ हुई थी बेटा, पानीपत में हुई थी. ओके, एंड इफ आई आस्क यू वेयर डिड द war of Mahabharat fought, we all know that the war of Mahabharat fought at Kurukshetra. Okay, now if I ask you that where is the river Ganga originate, we all know that Ganga originate from the Gangotri, and from where our river Yamuna, Brahmaputra, Godavari, Krishna, Ravi, Tapi, Satluj, okay, all these rivers. So we have a name of a place in the answer. Okay, right. So beta, all these concepts that are related to a particular place, we will study in the concept of where. Okay beta, we will study in the concept of where. Now we will talk about when. Okay, we have done it already. Now we will talk about how. Okay, now this is an important aspect to remember, because in when and where we get an appropriate answer of a particular time, date and place. Okay, but in the concept of how, what we have to do, we have to just summarize the story. We have to just remember the or recall the story कि भाई महात्मा गांधी ने चंपारण आंदोलन क्यों शुरू किया था और कैसे शुरू किया, महात्मा गांधी ने डांडी मार्च कैसे शुरू की, महात्मा गांधी जी ने सिविल डिसोबीडियंस या फिर नॉन कॉरपोरेशन मूवमेंट कैसे शुरू की, हमें भारत में आज़ादी कैसे मिली, हाउ इंडिया गोट इंडिपेंडेंस. ओके, हाउ द बैटल ऑफ पानीपत फोर्ट, हाउ द बैटल ऑफ महाभारत फोर्ट. ओके, एंड हाउ द ग्रीक सिविलाइजेशन लिव्ड, हाउ द हड़प्पा सिविलाइजेशन was, how the Mohenjo-daro civilization was. Okay, and how did the partition of India took place. Okay, so and how did the Britishers captured or started ruling over India, how did their administration system was. So beta, such kind of question we will discuss in this chapter with a proper and interesting story. Okay, so now I hope the meaning of the title how, when and where is very much clear to you, and now we will study with the paragraph and NCERT text. Okay, so now beta, let's start our chapter. How important are date? In the concept of history, the importance of dates and century or place and a particular time is very much important and is very much beneficial to remember beta, because history is all about memorizing our past. इतिहास को दोहराना, इतिहास को पढ़ना ही क्या कहलाता है, हिस्ट्री कहलाता है. एंड हिस्ट्री इज ऑल अबाउट एंशियंट टाइम, एंशियंट प्लेसेस, एंशियंट पीपल, ऑल अबाउट देयर स्टडिंग ऑफ देयर कल्चर, देयर ट्रेडिशन, देयर बिलीव्स एंड व्हाट काइंड ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन सिस्टम एंड लाइफस्टाइल दे हैव. ओके बेटा, सो नाउ in the context of dates, if I ask you a simple question, when is your birthday, what you will say, my birthday is on that day. Okay, or that date. Okay, so in the same way beta, in history also the importance of dates is very much important, because dates are the only actual proof which tell us about the happening of ancient activities in that particular centuries. बेटा उस समय पे ना तो आप थे ना मैं था. ओके, उस समय पे जो विद्वान लोग थे, जो पढ़े लिखे थे, उन्होंने ही इतिहास को किताबों में उतारा है अपनी कलम के साथ, और अपने क्रिएटिव इनोवेटिव स्किल से उन्होंने ही जो आज हम हिस्ट्री पढ़ रहे हैं वो सिर्फ उन विद्वानों की ही दी हुई है. एंड डेट्स जो तारीख है बेटा वो इस बात की गवाह रही है कि इस समय पे इस तारीख को ये काम हुआ था, इस समय में राजा अकबर को 13 साल की उम्र में राजा बना दिया गया था, इस समय पे राजा टोडरमल ये बने थे, इस समय पे अलाउद्दीन खिलजी भारत आया था, इस डेट को मोहम्मद गौरी ने आक्रमण किया था, इस तारीख को मोहम्मद गौरी और पृथ्वीराज चौहान के बीच में युद्ध हुआ था, इस बीच में बैटल ऑफ वाटरलू, बैटल ऑफ बक्सर, बैटल ऑफ प्लासिस, राजूदौला और इंग्लिश और ब्रिटिश ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी में हुई थी. सो बेटा डेट्स आर वेरी मच इंपॉर्टेंट टू रिमेंबर बिकॉज दीज आर द एक्चुअल प्रूफ ऑफ व्हाट हैपेंड इन आवर सोसाइटी इन एंशिएंट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. Okay beta, so now let's start with our paragraph. There was a time when historians were fascinated with dates. There were heated debates about the dates on which rulers were crowned or battles were fought. In the common sense notion, history was synonymous with dates. You may have heard people say, I find history boring because it is all about memorizing dates. Is such a conception true beta? No. Okay, so if I talk about like when did a particular ruler was assassinated, when he was murdered, okay, and at what date he was crowned to the king, okay, and when did the battles fought. So such kind of debates in the ancient historians were always have a debates with over dates कि भाई जो इतिहासकार थे उनकी समस्याएं, उनकी जो डिबेट्स होती थी, उनके जो वाद विवाद होते थे वो पर्टिकुलर डिबेट्स पे ही होते थे बेटा, क्योंकि उनकी जो थीम थी, वो जो उनके माइंड में जो स्टोरी थी वो सबकी सिमिलर ही होती थी ऑलमोस्ट, बट जो फ्लक्चुएशन आता था, उतार चढ़ाव आता था दिनों का, वो कब आता था, वो सिर्फ तारीखों में ही आता था. Okay, so now and as we all know that history was synonyms with dates, और जो हिस्ट्री है उसका पर्यायवाची शब्द क्या कहलाता है? तारीख. ओके, नाउ you may have heard people say I find history boring because it is all about memorizing dates. Is such a conception true? Now you tell me beta, history is all about memorizing and remembering the dates, the ancient civilization and past. So it sounds boring for those who don't have any interest in studying history, but the students who have a deep knowledge and deep interest in knowing the facts, in knowing the history, what happened in past, it sounds very much interesting to them also. Okay, now second paragraph. History is certainly about changes that occur over time. ओके, मतलब हिस्ट्री वक्त के साथ जो बदलाव आते हैं सेंचुरीज में उनको रिकॉर्ड करती है बेटा. सपोज लाइक व्हाट हैपेंड इन 13th century, व्हाट हैपेंड इन 14th century एंड व्हाट हैपेंड इन द 19th century and what we all now have in 21st century. So the difference and the changes that occurred over particular centuries will recorded in the subject of history beta. It is about finding about how things were in the past and how things have changed. कि भाई in this subject what we study is like कि पहले चीज़ें कैसे होती थी in ancient centuries, how the people lived, how kings ruled their kingdoms, how wars were fought, what kinds of agriculture occupations they have, what kind of medical facilities they have, and at present how our life is, how our lifestyle is, how medical facilities we have, what kind of agriculture purpose we have. So beta such kind of things that deals with the appropriate proper particular century and differentiate with the ancient centuries is all recorded in the history. Okay, suppose like in ancient histories there was no science, there was no trade, there was no proper occupations, there was no schools, there was no hospitals, there was no institutions for study. Okay, so now but at present we have science, we have technology, we have trade and commerce, we have businesses, we have privatization, we have modernizations, we have good schools, colleges, roadways, railways, airways, okay, what we don't have at present, okay, but ये सारी चीज़ें पहले तो नहीं थी ना बेटा, तो इसीलिए ये डिफरेंस और ये बदलाव इतिहास में दर्ज किया जाता है कि पहले नहीं थी लेकिन अब है, ओके. सो नाउ as soon as we compare the past with the present, we refer to time, we talk of before and after. ओके जब कभी भी हम आज के समय पे ये सारी बातें डिस्कस करते हैं, सो हमें पहले के दिन और आज के दिन अच्छे से याद आ जाते हैं कि हमारे पास पहले क्या था और आज क्या है. Okay, now if we talk about a simple question, we all know that beta India got independence on 15th of August 1947, and at that period of time, just before 15th August and just after 15th August, how the things changed we all know. So हमने 15th अगस्त से पहले का भी पता किया और 15th अगस्त के बाद का भी पता किया कि things got changed, how the things got changed. Okay beta, so now living in the world, we do not always ask historical questions about what we see around us. We take things for granted as if what we see has always been in the world we inhabit, but most of us have our moment of wonder when we curious and we ask questions that actually are historical. Watching someone sip a cup of tea at a roadside tea stall, you may wonder, when did people begin to drink tea or coffee? Looking out of the window of a train, you may ask yourself, when were railways built and how did people travel long distances before the age of railways? Reading the newspaper in the morning, you may be curious to know how people got to hear about things before newspaper began to be printed. Okay, now beta, in this context, let me recall you a question that if we talk about history, what we do a little bit of a knowledge of ancient कि भाई पहले ऐसे होता था अब ऐसे नहीं होता. ओके, एंड व्हाट हमारे अंदर एक जिज्ञासा आ जाती है बेटा, हमारे अंदर क्यूरियोसिटी आ जाती है चीज़ों को जानने के लिए, चीज़ों को समझने के लिए कि भाई पहले चीज़ें कैसी होती थी और अब चीज़ें कैसी होती हैं. सो नाउ लेट्स टेक एन एग्जांपल ऑफ हाउ पीपल ट्रेवल्स कि भाई पहले लोग कैसे यात्रा करते थे जब तक ट्रांसपोर्ट, रेलवेज, रोडवेज की इन्वेंशन नहीं हुई थी. उस एज में पीपल कैसे यात्रा करते थे, एक जगह से दूसरी जगह पे कैसे जाते थे. ओके, सो वी ऑल नो दैट पीपल, great traders, inventions, explorers, rulers travel the world with the help of sea water, and they build up ships that take them from one place to the another place or transferred them from one state to the another. Okay, first way. Second way, what the individuals were doing at that point of time, like they have their blow carts, so on their blow carts they move from one place to the another place. Okay, so such kind of activities were practiced at that period of time in ancient centuries to travel from one place to the another place before the invention of railways and roadways beta. Okay, now tell me, today we have newspaper to read, to grab the information, to grab the news, but do you think in the ancient history, in the ancient centuries, people had newspaper to read? No, at period of time there was no newspaper. So what people did at that particular of time, they sit together and they talked about their livelihood, the orders that their king used to give or the officials that were presented in their locality. So they just follow their orders, and with the rise of time, when they developed their understanding level, their thinking level and their thought process was developed, so they started to understanding the news around their surroundings कि भाई ऐसे चीज़ें हो रही हैं, वहाँ से लोग आ रहे हैं, वो इस पर्पस से आ रहे हैं, उनका ये एम है और वो हमारे यहाँ पे इस उद्देश्य से आ रहे हैं. सो सच काइंड ऑफ न्यूज़ started gathering with the period of time. Okay, so now let's take a look at this picture. Okay, now there are men's and the title is given by Hindustan. Okay, title is given as Hindustan. Okay, so now let's read about something. This Brahmins offering the shastras to Britannia front piece to the first map produced by James Rennell in 1782. Okay, so the first map was produced by James Rennell 1782. बेटा ठीक है, कब बना गया था? James Rennell in 1782. Okay, so now see we have the importance of date also कि भाई कब बनाया गया था 1782 में, और किसने बनाया गया था? जेम्स रेनल ने. ठीक है, रेनल was asked by Robert Clive to produce maps of Hindustan. An enthusiast supporter of British conquest of India, Rennell saw a preparation of maps as essential to the process of domination. The picture here tries to suggest that Indians willingly gave over their ancient text to Britannia, the symbol of British power, as if asking her to become the protector of Indian culture. Okay, now beta Robert Clive was a governor general of India and he represented the Britain or the East India Company, and he asked James Rennell to construct a map of India with the help of study of social, political and religious lifestyle of India. So the Brahmins and Shastriyas offered their teachings, offered their values, मतलब कि भाई जो उन्होंने अपनी किताबों में लिखा हुआ था, अपनी संस्कृति, अपनी प्रकृति, अपनी नॉलेज के बारे में, वो उन्होंने जेम्स मिल को दे दी कि ताकि वो उन्हें अच्छे से पढ़ के भारत को एक नई दिशा, एक नया चेहरा, एक नया दिन दे सके. Okay beta, so this is all about your first page of this chapter, and in the another videos we will continue our chapter. I hope you understood what I said to you, and thank you very much.